Well, hi y'all. Hello friends, family. It's nighttime and it feels kind of mellow, and it kind of fits how the week was, meaning the week was hard. I had a really tough week, although it got better starting yesterday afternoon and today. The week wasn't just pure hard because, crazy enough, it seems like it would have been a fantastic week because my mom was finally able to get here to see me, and she has been just aching to do so, as you can imagine. And I had not seen her since Christmas, and that it was very brief. So she was able to come, and then Hannah also came while Mom was here. Hannah arrived. She's going to be here for a nice long stay. And then Sarah is actually on her way here right now. Craig and Hannah went to pick her up at the airport, and they're on their way back. So Mom left a couple of days ago to head back home to be with her honey, my dad. And so anyway, I thought it would just be, a really encouraging week, but that is not how it turned out. So I thought I would share with you. Let's see. Well, first of all, I'm sure a lot of people were struggling this week because it I don't know how many days in a row of constant rain we had. It felt like forever, but it was so dreary. It began to become depressing. So that was one thing. And then my pain level was just really bad. I'm still working on that. It's just nuts. Like, I just can't imagine what scleroderma must be doing underneath the surface of all my skin to be causing this kind of pain that they can hardly figure out how to reduce it. And my pain management doctor, I'm really happy for him, I really am. But he went out of the country for a much needed vacation. But so usually, you're checking in with them every couple of days and maybe making some changes, but that was not possible. So I started picturing what's going on in my body. I've been calling it the bricklayers. Okay, because I think maybe I've mentioned that scleroderma causes your body to think that it needs to heal something, because like if you get a cut, say you have a cut, well, I hope I say this right. Y'all don't mind, but your body immediately lays down collagen, like a strip of collagen, and I guess and then scar tissue begins to happen. The collagen helps the bleeding to stop, and So this is like, can you even imagine that is just happening all over my body? So it has felt like this week that the bricklayers were on a rampage. Like they were just all speed ahead, all speed ahead. Kind of like in the Lord of the Rings when they were, you know, tearing the trees down. Those evil, was that in the second one? The two towers? I'm not sure. But where they were just, oh man, they were just rampaging ahead. That's what it felt like in my body this week. And I would wake up in the morning and just be like, you know, lying in bed and grateful for some pretty good nights of sleep this week. But I would feel like new areas of what feel like hardened webbing or something. Like this week, I felt it in my neck, new, and like I'll just feel it maybe in new places on my face, and my hands, I'll feel like a new webbing. I don't know how to describe it other than that. But so it was really hard physically this week. Just like, oh my gosh. And it made it quite depressing. Like I just, you know, it made it feel like, it's like Hannah said, Mom, I realized that for us, there's this sorrow and this, you know, fear we have that is just right there in the back of our minds all the time. But we can forget about it for a little while. But for you, it's like here, just here, all the time, just in the front of your head. And that has been what it has felt like. Like I have felt like I've been kind of in this prison of pain and fear and sorrow. And so like having the people I love around me, it's like this comfort, but more front and center is this fear and sorrow as I just think of all that I'm losing. And it's like pain is so isolating. It puts up this barrier between you and the people around you. It's really dicey. I have continued to make sure, and like one night I just felt that sort of isolation and just desolation about what it was feeling like. And so I went back to do a little bit of night routine. We were going to watch something on TV. Mom had left, and it was Hannah, Craig, and me. And Craig came back too, and I realized I need to say it. I need to connect. And I told Craig, I'm just feeling depressed. I'm in so much pain. How am I supposed to be okay? And I cried some, and just getting it out and connecting with him. And he was like, I can imagine, you know, this is so hard. It's horrific. It doesn't make any sense. It's terrible. I went back into the living room to watch whatever we were going to decide to watch with hope and that wall down and not being isolated. I felt connection to love. So, yep, I think that's an important piece with chronic pain. So, let's see. So, one of the most difficult things in the week was I saw on Facebook that my dear friend's sister died. And it just crushed me to see that my friend had lost her sister. Because, you know, as far as I knew, her sister was fine. And, you know, I thought, well, what's happened, an accident or something? But I have loved their relationship, and it has reminded me of my own sisters and me. And so I've enjoyed just, you know, whenever I get a chance, hearing about this relationship. And my friend moved away a bunch of years ago, so we just keep in touch here and there through email or, you know, other ways. And so I was absolutely shocked. And so then I discovered that her sister died of systemic scleroderma. Is your brain reeling in the way that I reeled? My universe reeled so hard when I read that part. Like, what? I was suddenly just totally shell-shocked and kind of numb, kind of open to God, because it was so just, it's like there has to be some meaningful connection to their loss and what we're going through. But of course, your brain just goes, you know, oh my gosh, you know, what might happen to me? Lord, what are you telling me? What? But then all at the same time, I just felt such deep grief for their family. So it was just almost more than I could take one day this week. And I just cried out to God and talked to family, and it was a dark day. That's all I can say. It was a very dark day. And I'm sorry, this is a dark sort of time with y'all. But it took me a while the next day to get my bearings, and and I had to go to the doctor the next day because I had anemia. One doctor, my rheumatologist, had discovered that with lab work, and so she sent me to Dr. John, my faithful oncologist, who's also a hematologist. So he helps me now as a hematologist right now. And so I went to go see him about the anemia. And so long story short, he ended up having me have a blood transfusion on Friday. I've never had that before, and it seemed like scary, like why or what, how big is this, you know, or whatever. But my brother-in-law said, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal at all. And you'll feel better. And that's what Dr. John told me also. And so it's just been such a blessing. I think that a large part of my pain this week and just having a hard time emotionally grappling with the pain and not having the energy to grapple with it was all because of my low blood counts. So let me stretch. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yesterday the sun came out. Oh my gosh. The sun came out and I got new blood. And so today was, oh my gosh, just such a better day. And so that's kind of how my week has gone. It's crazy. It's crazy. I have daily, momently continued to just talk to God and ask Him about what I don't know, just everything. Like what I'm sorry, I'll have begun to get tired tonight. But let me just tell you this, that this morning Craig came and woke me up because it was 8 o'clock, and that's like time to take pain meds, and so normally he would let me sleep, but it's good to take them and then wait a little while before I get out of bed. And so it was a time that I was able to be alone and pray, and I knew I could hear Craig taking care of the dogs. Flashback from the past video. And anyway, so I just lying on my back often helps me feel the vulnerability that is real. Before God and just how we are, you know? And so anyway, I just poured out my heart about like everything, all the details of the what it's like to move down the hallway at night, and you know, just my pants being a little too loose, and they rub on the goosebumps that feel like they have little tiny swords, you know, slicing off my skin. So I just like, and as I talked to him, and I tears were washing my face. I was wetting the sheet with them, and in just like delineating all the little things and like bringing him into them, I felt him like giving me that, inviting me into doing that as I did it. And as I talked to him, fear became the prominent theme. You know, I've been so aware of my sorrow and lament and grief, but the fear, I've been aware of that too, but that is just what God helped me to zero in on. And somehow he met me there talking about that. Sorry, I'm thinking about the time and whether my family's going to be getting home, but I think we're good. Okay, Lord, help me to remember this. So, what came through as, basically, so I just laid it out there that all these little tiny things, everything I have to face through each hour it's a bit terrorizing, knowing that, the evenings are always harder, but it's just sort of getting through the day. So anyway, talking about that with the Lord, and what came through was, it's like, where are you? Where, like, I need you more. I need you more. Like, and I was like, the time on a retreat when you came up the hill in the wind came up the hill and just roared over me, and it was this massive storm coming in, and I yelled in the wind. It was a time when I was just grappling with life and needed him, and he came in the wind, and I just yelled so loud in the wind, talking to God about what was going on. And I was like, and then I just was like, I knew he was with me, because of the encounter. And I was like, I need that now. I need an encounter with you where your love and your protection are just known so deep in my bones. And he began to speak. I say this with loosely, but what came through in our conversation, like literally, it is a conversation, was I felt him saying, I'm angry. I'm not aloof. I am so enraged at what you're suffering, and I grieve over your sorrow. And yet in the mystery, there's not one cell in your body that is not in my control. The mystery is why I don't just heal you outright, but that is something you will understand when you see me face to face. But know now that I am 100% invested, just as you are. Like, no. And as I've said before, Jesus at the grave of Lazarus, the words there talking where he was indignant. It's a horse flaring his nostrils and pouring out. Jesus enraged at what sin. Hang on. I'm getting a low battery. Hopefully we hang on here. Enraged at what sin and evil has done this side of heaven. So anyway, it was like he was just coming in solidarity and saying, and don't fear. When you have to put on your pants and it touches your hair follicles, and it's so frightening to know, can I handle this? Can I handle pulling my pants up and then taking steps where the pants rub? Can I handle it? I'm with you. It's not out of control. I'm with you. And I don't like it either, but my love is with you. And so I felt like, he was saying, I see you, I see you. So, I don't know how much longer the battery is going to last. You probably can't tell. I put on, looks like it's gone. I put on a little bit of lipstick on the top lip, and I didn't put on anything on the bottom. I didn't put on any brightness, but the lipstick is for joy cometh in the morning. Well, in honor of Sharon, I wanted to, we are in a time of lament for her. We're in a time of also celebrating her life, and most of all celebrating that she is now in the presence of God. So that's the top lip, and the joy part, that she is now with him and we will see her again. But this sort of whitish white lip is the reality that we live on this planet. And it would be so wrong just to say it's all okay because she's with Jesus. It's not okay. That's not what Jesus would say. He would say this isn't right. It's not as it should be. And I will come again. So that's the white lip. So all of this is our life here, you guys, and what we have is the presence of God. And I don't know, I just say, beg him, lean hard. And I do think you have to find times where you're literally alone. It's hard for your moms with young kids and dads with young kids. And you just gotta go out in your car. I remember doing that. And just, and ask if you have a spouse, if they could take care of the dogs or the kids while you stay in bed, because when we first wake up, our defenses are down in terms of defenses, meaning all this stuff we have laid up in our brains that prevents us from actually connecting to our hearts and what is real. And that is the place God meets us. It's what's real. It's where our souls really are. And if we just stay defended against that stuff, once we wake up and get going around, the left side of our brain begins to get more in control and yes, and we get all our platitudes in place, and we don't meet God when we live like that. So anyway, I encourage you. I love you all. Thank you so much for walking this journey with me. So many of you sent me messages and gifts even. And if you haven't, it doesn't matter, because I know you're with me. I love you all. May God be known and glorified as our hearts seek to understand, to grapple and understand his character, and most of all his fatherness, his his relationship toward us, with us. Be with you soon. Uh-oh, how do I turn this off? Okay. Sorry, I have on new things.